Hi, everybody. I'm Bob,
I'm Allison.
and we're going to share with you, mostly talk about the 2023 roadmap. So we'll start off with a little bit of endurance market update, and then I'll talk about how our business is going and our 2023 goals. And then Alice and I will kind of split the RunSignup roadmap, and then she'll do GiveSignup and TicketSignup. So as anybody that's in the endurance industry knows, it's been a weird past couple of years. We've published a lot of data, during the year, trying to help people understand what's going on. And actually next week, we're gonna publish this big, huge, thick trends report that has about 80 pages in it. But one of the stats that we keep track of is how many people came to races that were on our platform in both 2019 and 2022. And you can see that 2022 is not yet up to what the levels were in 2019. We actually did do the December numbers, and I think it was like 141,000 in 2019 and 140,000 in 2022, which is kind of positive because it's almost even. And you can see the trend on the right-hand side. The percentages kind of get better as the year goes on. But overall, about a 10% decline. So a race that was 1,000 people in 2019 is more like 900 people in 2022. And we don't have any better crystal ball than any of you about 2023. We're hoping it's better. We're trying to do everything in our power to supply our customers with technology to do that. We try to hold a bunch of sessions on how to improve registration totals and stuff like that. So we'll continue to try to do that to help the industry come back. But frankly, we're just not quite sure. So with that in mind, 2022 was a pretty good year for us. And we actually used 2019 as a base because it was like the last normal year. So when we look at how we as a company have done from 2019 to 2022, I will tell you that it's a lot better than it was on March 13th in 2020. Overall, we've grown the number of events that are on our platform. Registrations about 20% there. Our transaction volume has actually increased more, combination of larger events coming on board, as well as increased amount of transaction volume from donations and the newer ticket business that we'll talk about more later on. Sometime in March, probably towards the end of March, we're actually going to hit a really big milestone in my mind. We're going to hit $2 billion of money processed on behalf of all of you, all of our customers. So pretty good. The chart on the little right-hand side there shows that we're kind of continuing to grow in terms of how much we're helping our customers raise from their events. 2022, we're just a little bit short of $400 million, which is pretty good. So we've reached kind of critical mass as a business. Small business, but still big enough to do pretty substantial things. So we're what's called a product-led company. The very heart of what we do is all about the technology and the products that we build to try to serve our event-based customers. And when we look at that, we're in the event business, but we've kind of got three different kind of targets. The first is the one that we started with. It's the one that we're well known for. It's the name of the company. It's RunSignup. It's the endurance market. We started about 13 years ago now, and we've risen to about 40% market share in that market. As we look into the future, we're going to continue to grow, but it's not going to be fast growth like it was in the past because we've just got a fair amount of market share, and we're never going to have 100% market share, but there's always going to be competitors out there. But we've reached this level of maturity and slower growth. So that the company can continue to grow, we've kind of started up these two other businesses on the same platform. First was GiveSignup, because so many of our customers are nonprofits. We've kind of reoriented and refocused that, as Allison will talk about a little later on, to really focus in on peer-to-peer registration and fundraising. It takes advantage of that same registration platform that we're well known for, that's so mature and so good, and the fundraising that has, quite frankly, matured very, very nicely over the past several years as well. We seem to be winning, you know, kind of more and more peer-to-peer events, from, you know, small and mid-size to pretty large ones, you know, multi-million-dollar fundraising events. And we see that as something that's going to continue to grow. We expect that, we kind of measure that with donation volume, so it's going to grow from about 50 million to about 60 million this coming year. On the ticket side, we introduced TicketSignup in February of 2022. The product had been there, had been part of GiveSignup, and what we've done is we've kind of keep investing in that and keep expanding the functionality. We found a particular market that Allison again will talk more about, you know, kind of outdoor events that have time type of entry. It's going to be very fast growth. It's a very, very large market. We're not going to go after the whole market. We're going to try to figure out these little slices that, like the haunt space or the Halloween space or the, you know, Christmas light shows, that we can be particularly good at and focus in on those and learn those and try to make the product really good. Basically the same formula that we used in the endurance market of understand your customers really well, understand their problems, and try to build great software for that. What's really cool about what we've done is we built this product platform that is a couple thousand database tables, couple million lines of code. It's very scalable, it's very efficient. It allows us to operate our business very efficiently. So it allows us to have kind of lower costs than most businesses because we focus on the product. You know, most of the investment goes into the product, and we get the benefit because our customers tell each other about us and bring us business. So we keep investing in this platform, and there's kind of two interesting things about it. One is that it's built kind of from the ground up to enable us to do continuous improvement. So we release like 2,000 releases. So on a typical day when you're clicking around inside of RunSignup, you actually are getting upgraded between clicks, and nothing ever happens, well, hardly ever. We were down for 4 minutes since the year 2015. So it's a very robust, stable platform, processes payments extraordinarily efficiently. We always pay customers on time. You know, this coming year, we're really focused on continuing to build out that infrastructure, and we're putting in like the kind of the big change besides just normal upgrades and stuff is we're introducing a bunch of automated testing so that these 2,000 releases get, you know, thousands of tests run on them automatically before they go out. What's also interesting is that this gray area is actually going to grow as time goes on, because what we're doing with our software is that when we create a component, it's now used by all pieces of the software. So in the past couple of years, we've been focusing on this new email, new website capability. And because we do that in this way that's reusable, that's getting reused across the ticket and the RunSignup space. So on the RunSignup product investment strategy front, really, we just want to keep our commanding lead in registration features. You know, no one else has the breadth and depth of the features that we have in the marketplace, and that's going to keep us, you know, kind of making sure that our customers are happy and so forth. You know, kind of the biggest investment besides the platform stuff that you see from us in the endurance space is the RaceDay products. I'll talk about that in a little bit. But one of the big requests that we got and understood very well in the customer advisory board meeting that we had in 22 was to improve the renewal process. So you'll see an improved renewal process this year. And then basically we're going to be reusing all of this technology that we've built in a reusable way. So you've seen the email stuff come into RunSignup. This year, you'll also see the website stuff come into RunSignup, and you also see this next-gen store stuff come into RunSignup. And finally, we're going to finally redo clubs, and it's going to be a fuller-fledged membership system. And we'll talk more about that in a minute as well. I'm going to hand it over to Allison so she can talk about a couple things now.
Yeah, he's getting old, so he needs to rest his voice. So with next generation email, we've got a lot of plans, and as Bob was explaining, this is a platform tool. So the same email that's available in tickets is available in races, and we just introduced things that are purpose built for each one. So like your replacement tags in races are going to be different than your replacement tags that you have available in ticket events. One of the cool things that we're introducing and kind of doing purpose-built for registration and for ticketing are pre-built emails. So our account managers have been working on a series of templates that are combined with default text, some places with suggested areas where you'll input your own text, and then the correct replacement tags. So things like launching ticket sales, or sending out a pre-race email, you'll just be able to click one of these pre-built emails. It's going to have all the content that you need, and you're just going to fill in your own custom information. We're also going to try to idiot-proof it a little bit. So if one of those pieces of information isn't customized properly for your event, we'll throw a little error message so that you aren't sending out something wonky to your participants or attendees. So that's going to come out pretty soon in the next few weeks. In races right now, you have two different tabs with email, and we're pushing our customers to use our next generation of email because it does have a lot more functionality. It's got beautiful templates, and this is what the future is. Over the next couple of weeks, we're going to announce, keep an eye on the blog, when we're going to be making that switch over to email v2. And that means that moving forward, your automated emails, the emails that you want to send out to your participants, you're going to be doing all of that from email v2. Like the note says in the slides, we're going to allow you to continue to access your old emails, but we'll make that transition smooth. We'll communicate it openly and make sure that you guys have access to both to move all of your content over time. One of the big things that we'll be doing is the ability to share your email templates across your races or your ticket events. So if you create a really nice pre-race email in one race, your Christmas 5K, you're going to be able to share that with the Tulip 5K and the Halloween 5K as well. We're going to be adding the image gallery, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. We introduced this first version of an image gallery in websites, but we're going to be adding a lot of enhanced image upload and sharing and storing across both of our email and website products. And then we plan to add enhanced contact lists where you're going to be able to go into one race and you're going to be able to pull contacts across all the contacts that you own on the platform. So the people who go to your ticket events and people who sign up for your 5Ks, you're going to be able to pull lists across all those contacts and add different filters. And we kind of introduced this several years back in one way, but long term, it's going to live in email marketing because our platform is about events. It's about taking action and making this filtering of contacts really action oriented and purpose built for events. So filters like I want everyone who attended 3 races or ticket events in the past 2 years and live within 25 miles of this zip code is an example of that advanced type of filtering. We're also going to start implementing this concept of customer journeys into email. So that's going to be very action-based. So somebody gets an email that ticket sales have launched, and if they click that and open it, they go down one path, and if they ignore that email and they don't click on any of the buttons, then they go down another path. If they end up buying a ticket from that email, then they go down a third path. And so you're able to kind of set up these more advanced automated journeys, and the first version of that is really just getting out the rest of the automated emails for email V2. So that's kind of step one that you're going to see in the next couple of weeks. The next generation websites, this is what's available in ticket events. We also introduced organization websites last year where you can create a standalone website that's not part of any of your events. But one of the big projects that's happening right now and going through code review right now is introducing these next generation websites to races. And so this is going to just be the next generation of how events create websites. And there's not going to be this sudden migration or a sudden shutdown of what exists today. It's going to take some time to build all the functionality that exists in races today into the new websites. But that process is going to take place over the next year. And so one of those big projects is making sure all these system generated pages, like if you're uploading results or you're enabling photos or you have fundraising turned on, all these system pages are automatically getting included into the next generation website builder. And the huge advantage of this, again, is maintaining a single way that we handle websites across the platform. Rather than having to say, this is how we build ticket websites, and this is race websites, and this is cover pages. We have a single consolidated place where we can add more features, like new components, new ways to handle images. And yeah, that's kind of.
Yeah, the other thing to note of how we'll bring this out is that you'll actually have two websites, and it'll be your existing website, and then you'll have this new website. And basically what's going to happen is the URL is going to say something like /new on the end of every page, a little question mark or something. And then you'll have a toggle button in your dashboard that you'll be able to switch them back and forth. And so what would happen is that your new website can take over all the URLs that are existing on your existing website. So you won't have basically, you can prototype the new website, and when you feel good about it, you can flip a switch and it goes like that. And if you don't like it, you can flip the switch back and it'll go back like that. The one thing that we can't move over automatically is all the custom content and the way that you've defined your menu items and things like that. So there is going to be manual work to be done on your part if you have a big website, and we'll try to make that as smooth as possible. But you know, there is going to be a migration, so there's going to be an overlap time where we'll support both the systems for quite a while, and then at some point in time, only the new one will be supported for new races that get created, and then eventually you'll love the new stuff so much you'll just abandon the old stuff.
Yeah, but this isn't going to be like a sudden 1 week time frame to move your content. You're going to have a couple of years probably. So in the context of both websites and emails, one of the biggest things that we're going to be working on this year are images. And we have a ton of places already where you're uploading images, and we've introduced a variety of different ways to make that easier over the years, like cropping tools and, you know, abilities to kind of resize it. But the image gallery is what's super exciting. So we introduced the first version of our image gallery into ticket websites, and we'll be moving that over into email that you see in both races and tickets in the next couple of weeks. And that first version just gives you a library, a catalog of default images for different event types like run walks, bike events, Halloween haunts. And they're just kind of stock photos, and it's just kind of a little, you know, it's a nice way to add content to your website or your emails if you're kind of looking for more images. But the next generation of that, the next phase of that is to automatically save the images that you're uploading that are custom to your events into an image gallery and make those images available across both your websites and email. And so one example of that would be if you're uploading a custom, you know, image to your website that you really like, it's maybe a photo and you've uploaded it as an image, you'll have that same photo available in your email marketing. So you'll be able to reuse things across both of those tools. You're also going to be able to share those images across different events that you are an owner of. So the concept of being able to copy an image to or copy from, like kind of an import-export across what you own on our system, so that you have easy and efficient ways if you own dozens and dozens of events to get that same image to appear across all of them. We're going to add a lot of advanced tools to this. We've actually been going through building our own websites that aren't just hosted on our platform, but actually hosted on WordPress. And WordPress has a lot of interesting capabilities with how images are stored and managed. So we're going to kind of take what we like from there and then modify it to make it more what we want it to be. But being able to add things like titles, so you have easy search options across your galleries, and alt text, showing you the pixel size of your uploaded images. So we're going to be doing a lot with this. It's probably going to take like the entire year to get all this kind of functionality out. But I think it's really powerful. It adds a ton of value to an event that is just a single event on our platform because those images are shared across website and email. But it adds like a ton and more power to events that have like 10 or 20 or 100 events set up on RunSignup and TicketSignup. Did you want to talk about clubs membership?
Yeah, I may as well. So we brought out a club system, geez, probably 8-9 years ago, and probably for the past 7, we've been promising to come out with a new club system next year. And this is finally the year. We were on path to do it in 2020, but the little pandemic got in our way. But work is actually going on right now. Actually, a lot of the underlying database stuff is actually already switched over, and the new wizard is actually in code review right now. And basically what we're doing is we're taking advantage of all these reusable components. So the website capability, the email capability, the store capability, each of those is going to take just like a couple of days to plug into the new club system once we get the basic club system done. One of the other huge features that we don't have today in clubs is automated renewals with saved credit cards. So it'll just auto charge the card, and if the card needs updated, it'll automatically email the customer to put in a new card and things like that.
And that's also going to allow us to do different payment schedules. So not just have an annual option, but also offer monthly.
It'll just make it super easy. So if I join on, January 11th or 12th, whatever today is, I'll just renew on January 12th every year. Easy member capability. So like one of the things that we've done in our ticket platform is that you don't actually have to create an account. And we have this mechanism where you come and you put in your email, and then we send you via email a link that allows you to control your membership or your ticket and things like that. You can still log in and put multi-factor authentication if you want to, but this will be a lighter weight thing, and it'll be similar to Remember a Ticket, and it will show you what your member number is and things like that. And it'll show you different QR codes and the ability to add that membership card to your Apple Wallet, and will allow you to have ways to kind of create your own custom member cards so that there's a visual to it, kind of like custom bibs and things like that. And then it will do the same sort of thing that we do today with race registration. A lot of running clubs put on events, and so there's literally hundreds of clubs in the US that do this. They have events, and they'll give a $5 discount if the member, if somebody's part of the club, and it automatically checks that. And if you're not a member of the club, it says, hey, become a member of the club, and you'll get a $5 discount on this race. So we'll do that across tickets and races, and then we'll also introduce that member purchase thing when you're buying tickets as well. So what it kind of transitions from just running clubs to more fully membership option, And why that's important, it kind of goes back to that pie chart that I showed early in the presentation, is if we have a lot of transaction volume coming through our system, it allows us to do more development, quite frankly, and it allows us to have better and better software for all of our customers. And because we're writing this membership system in a way that's used across all of our customers, it's not just running clubs that are kind of paying for the development, it's also gardens and zoos and things like that that will be interested in utilizing this membership system.
In TicketSignup, we introduced the next generation of store, and it's just a new way of handling the upsell of additional items or through a standalone store. And one of the powerful features that we rolled out for this TicketSignup store, the next generation store, is the concept of a warehouse where you can have inventory management across all of your ticket events. This is a request we've gotten a ton from RunSignup customers over the years. So being able to share that inventory across race A, B, C, and D, and keep that in sync in real time. So one of the projects probably for later in 2023 that'll go through 2024 is bringing this next generation store to RunSignup. The reason why it's kind of later in the year is there is a lot of functionality we need to add to get it to the level that the RunSignup store is at, like improved shipping options and capabilities. But that ability to have a single inventory management system across all of your races and ticket events is one of the longer term priorities for this year and next year. And
even on a simple scale, I mean, the way that we wrote the system originally was we created a store, and then we realized customers needed a lot of detailed add-on capability. And so today you have to have separate store items from add-on products in our platform. Don't tell anybody, it's one of the weaknesses of our platform. But basically you're going to have that merged together, and then it's going to be a modern store. So multiple variants means that I'll be able to have blue and red shirts, and I could pick blue, and then I'd have small, medium, and large options there. So it's pretty nice upgrade.
Yeah, so we'll continue to see incremental improvements that get released into TicketSignup over the next year, and then at some point during the year, the second half, we'll start this major project similar to what we're doing with like websites and email, and bringing all of that to races with the store items.
So renewals. So one of the great things of our platform that a lot of people use, like hundreds of people use this every week. They hit a green button that says renew race. So what's happened is that we over time have released new options that we have not done a really good job of managing that renewal capability. As you see all these little option buttons here under registration, there's just a lot of different options to bringing different data over from the old race to this year's race. And so we're going to improve that whole process and make it fully feature covered. We're going to do lots of little things like make it more obvious whether you want to carry over your shirt inventory or not. Today it does, and it causes tons of confusion for lots of people. Easier date conversion. Every year when I renew the Scott Coffee race, I always have to go in and change the date because it changes it from Saturday to Sunday, because it's always the first Saturday of June. And I have to kind of go in and do that myself. So we'll handle things like that automatically, and leap years we'll handle properly as well. Another thing that we've always been known as an open platform because of our open API, and there's tons of software that integrates with us, especially on the scoring side of things. But what we're in the process of, it's actually in beta right now, is to have that API talk to Zapier. And Zapier is kind of an easier way for people to integrate data. And so we've partnered with this really great company, Sidekick Solutions, that are specialists in Zapier. They're specialists in integrating systems, especially in the nonprofit space. And we're working with them. Once we get it out of beta, we'll make that Zapier integration public on the Zap portfolio. So you'll be able to go and use it for free. You'll pay Zapier and you can do it on your own. And then Sidekick Solutions is going to be offering specific integration services to customers that want a little help or that want to do something a little bit more specific. So kind of the big uses of this is that, you're doing an event on RunSignup or TicketSignup, and you're having people sign up and you're having people donate, but you want to integrate that in with your Salesforce system or your enterprise system in some sort of way, shape, or form. So, so this is just going to make that a little bit more easier, make the hurdle a little bit lower to jump over. Really excited about this. We've got several customers that are in this beta program right now, and things are going really well. And then we'll do our usual ton of small little features. Just yesterday, I was having a demo from one of the developers, Justice, who was showing that, on the checkout page, and you put in a coupon code, but maybe you only allow 10 of those coupons and 11th person comes through. Well, right now it's just like a generic error code, but it's going to say, sorry, the maximum number of uses of this coupon has been reached, or sorry, this event is not eligible for this coupon, and things like that. It'll be a whole lot better. So we'll do many of those small little things that will help improve things. Some of the more tangible ones that you'll probably recognize is we're going to add Apple Pay and Google Pay on the checkout screen. And we're also going to introduce ACH for transactions that are above $1,000. So we'll be able to lower the pricing of larger transactions for our customers. We're also going to introduce a new type of insurance product in April. Our current insurance provider is moderately costly, and the new insurance provider allows for lower costs of insurance, and it's more applicable for lower cost events. So it won't just be the $150 marathon that it's going to be applicable for. It will be applicable for $30 and $40 types of events. We'll continue to share revenue on that. So customers will actually get 20% of what that insurance payment is. So that's good news for our customers. It's another source of revenue. Also coming is a new questions dashboard page. Right now, if you have a bunch of questions, it's a horrible page and it's an old UI, and that will look a whole lot better because we have a lot of customers that use questions. Lots and lots of infrastructure and DevOps improvements, stuff that you guys never see, but is actually the heart and soul of what we do. It's critically important. And then lots more things here. I'll go through the RaceDay stuff here a little bit more in detail right now. As that pie chart said, we spend about 25% of our development effort on these RaceDay tools. It's a pretty big investment. RaceDay Check-in is like the favorite app of all of our customers. I think it was like 2.6 or 2.7 million people actually got checked into events with this check-in app last year. Really quite amazing. And we did a lot of work to it, and it's really a slick app. It really works well. It's really stable and good. But we've got some new features coming, a medical mode, so that if you have a medical tent, you can check people in and check people out. So you'll know that they came in at 10:15 and they left at 11:45. We're going to do membership integration. There's a couple of different features there that we have that we think will be pretty nice and cool. There'll be a results mode so that you can use your camera on your phone to scan somebody's bib or scan somebody's QR code, and you'll see the individual result come up. And then we're going to this new set of UI components that'll be used across all of our apps and just make all the apps more usable, easier to maintain, and faster to build on for us and for you. RaceDay Scoring is this huge investment that we've made over the past 5 years. It has gotten to the point of being functionally superior to the race director. For those that don't know, the race director is software that was created by Roger Bradshaw. It's been around for about 30 or 35 years. It's great software. It's used to, like score 30% of the people that cross the finish line in the United States. And the plan was that it needed a refresh. So RaceDay Scoring is that refresh. And it's taken us 5 years to get to the point where it is functionally superior across all parameters now to the race director. And we had actually set out a plan 5 years ago where we told our customers that, Roger might not want to continue to support the race director. And so, so Roger joined us in 2015. And basically every year I sit down with Roger and have a review, and every year he says, "I don't think I'm going to leave, Bob." So Roger's not going away. The race directors so the formal plan is that we are going to stop supporting the race director at the end of 2023. What that means is that we can't necessarily guarantee that we're going to do updates and upgrades and enhancements to the software product. The reality is that because Roger's still around, and if there's some new version of the Windows operating system that comes out that he needs to do something, he'll likely do it. But what we want to do is we really want to strongly encourage timers to get themselves in a position where they're kind of dual scoring this year, and then kind of can rely completely on RaceDay Scoring next year. So we're feeling pretty good about the product. Even Roger is starting to like it more. Well, sometimes, but one of the things that we're doing this year is some of the internal piping and infrastructure is getting redone. Part of that was when the announcer feature came out, it actually, we did a bunch of real-time stuff that made that more efficient, some of the underlying communication. What we're in the middle of right now is doing some stuff to the database structure that will enable it to time large races very effectively. We're going to be doing some other things on the race roster side. We're going to be able to download race roster registrations. We're actually going to have a BQ report. That's actually one of the final things that's in the race director that's not in us. So if you have a marathon, you'll be able to say how many people, and who those people were that qualified for the Boston Marathon in a simple single report. We introduced lap races last year and cross country last year, and we're going to continue to make small improvements on those. We'll do RaceDay Scoring results into RaceJoy, and then we're going to improve series scoring calculations, kind of the local version, not the web-based version. And then timer dashboard is going to continue to get more and more powerful this year. Now that RaceDay Scoring is doing cloud sharing into the cloud, that starts to become more and more visible, and we're able to put more and more stats into the cloud so that timers can, kind of manage multiple races at the same time and see the status of everything that's going on, see how many finishers have crossed the finish line, see how many starters have started, and things like that. RaceJoy is going to get a bunch of new and improved user experience UI components and look to it. It's going to go over to that RaceDay green type of theme. We're going to support lap type support. RaceJoy is used in a lot of like these ultras and trails that might have like a 5-mile loop through a park or something like that. So we'll start to support that even better. Result notifications from RunSignup. When you set up text notifications to get notified when Allison finishes a race or something like that, that will now appear in RaceJoy as well. And then we're doing a refresh on Cheers, and one of the nice features that we'll put in is MP3 support. So you'll be able to kind of record your own recording and have that play at a cheer point. And that would be really nice for sponsors and races that want to cheer their participants on at a certain point in the event. And then finally, on the race day side, we came out with a new mobile timing app this year. It's actually pretty cool. It kind of goes, it's a throwback to when I was running and you got popsicle sticks when you finished the race. It's basically you have, one phone can be your timer saying first, second, third, fourth, and the other one is at the end of the finish chute that just writes down the bib number, merges it in the cloud, and you get all the results. It's pretty slick stuff. We're going to try to continue to make it better for that. And we're also going to try to make it better and better as kind of like a time machine type of alternative as a backup to chip timing. So it's pretty slick. It's free. It's great.
So I'm going to go through GiveSignup and TicketSignup quickly. So with GiveSignup, we've really refocused our development efforts and our product on peer-to-peer fundraising events. When we announced GiveSignup back in 2019, I think it was, we introduced some other additional products like donation websites and fundraising campaigns that were not part of events. And we found slower uptake on those products. I think like nonprofits kind of often move more slowly. And I just felt that the products we released, they didn't differentiate from like the other donation forms that are available from other, platforms. And I feel like what we do really well is events. And so we kind of went back to that and refocused our efforts on building peer-to-peer fundraising technology, because that's where we can solve real problems. And that's where nonprofits have a real need for purpose-built technology. So this year, we have a couple of key features that we'll be rolling out. The one that will be coming out soon, hopefully this month, is a display option where you can actually include the registration fee as part of the donations that display on the fundraiser's goal, on their pages and on leaderboards, as well as an option that rolls into the fundraiser minimum auto charge. So that means like if I pay a $25 registration fee and make a $20 donation, my page is going to show $45 when you enable this display option. We've gotten this request from probably a dozen nonprofit customers over the last year or two. So this is a big project and we're excited to get that out soon. We'll be introducing more fundraiser email marketing capabilities. We've already rolled out a number of replacement tags for fundraisers in email v2, and we'll kind of be expanding on that this year. With websites, one of the things that we want to do is start introducing more components. So we rolled out the event list where you can have a real-time list on your websites that shows all of your upcoming and past events with links to sign up or past events links to results. And that's the power of this next generation website. And so when it comes to fundraising, we want to be able to show, for example, a donation goal thermometer or fundraiser leaderboards that roll up across your events. So you'll be able to choose race A, C, and D. Their donation dollars filter up to this one big mega donation goal. And then we're going to continue with incremental and customer-driven improvements. Like Bob mentioned, we're having some success with getting larger peer-to-peer fundraising events who are really using our fundraising platform at scale. And they've got a lot of great feedback. So kind of listening to those and prioritizing them as they come in and just continuing to make little improvements to keep making our platform even better for nonprofits, because we do see that big gap in the market of a really good free peer-to-peer fundraising event solution. With TicketSignup, we've got a number of priorities. I kind of bucket our different product priorities into marketing, ticketing, and event day. So with marketing, the big thing that we'll be doing this year is bringing over the insights functionality that you have in your race dashboard over to the ticket dashboard, so that we're connecting that with, who's visiting the website, which emails are generating the most ticket sales and the most donations and the most website views. So that's the big project. And then it's really just kind of whatever's happening with the websites and whatever's happening with the email. The great thing is if we introduce like the new image gallery, that's going to be available in the websites for both tickets and for races. And so I kind of just wanted to emphasize on this slide that it's not a ton of investment in like continuing to build out marketing features that are only available for tickets. It's really just sharing the same plan of websites and emails that are getting implemented for races with our ticket events so that everyone's benefiting from that platform development. With ticketing, we found that we have a really good platform for events that happen across multiple days with timed entry. So for example, we had a couple dozen larger haunts use us this fall, and they typically will run from the end of September through the end of October, and they'll be open various nights, not every single night of the week, but like weekends and some weeknights. And they have different time slots when customers can arrive, and each of those time slots has different caps, different pricing, and our platform handles that really well. But we really see an opportunity to improve ticketing for these multi-day time ticketing opportunities. There's kind of a gap in the market between general admission software like what Eventbrite has, and then super expensive admission software for museums. And there isn't a really great solution for these typically outdoor events. And so what we're doing is we're just extending the database to better accommodate date and time slots, and then filtering that down and exposing it in a lot of different calendar-driven views from when people set up their event to how they're managing it and how they're reporting on it and how purchasers are able to buy their tickets. We're also introducing a lot more ticket management options, really focused on driving revenue through the addition of like additional tickets or additional store items to an existing purchase, and then continuing to expand this next generation of reporting that we introduced in tickets in 2022 with options to save report views and add access to specific reports. And then event day, I feel like it's kind of similar to what we see on the RaceDay side, where the ticket app is the most popular feature for our ticket events already. It's the same team that's building the RaceDay apps. So we're kind of able to leverage a lot of like shared components, knowledge of how events work to build a really great ticket app kind of out of the box. So for this next year, we're going to be continuing to make incremental UX improvements just based on user feedback of using this, extending our initial point of sale that we released for ticket purchases on site to store, and also adding just more reporting functionality, the option to add fees onto on-site point of sale tickets. And then we'll also be rolling out text for tickets, really similar to how we do it in registration, where an event can enable this setting and ticket purchasers will have the option to opt in for text messages. It's not going to be a marketing solution. It's going to be an event communication solution. So a lot of the outdoor events, if there's a thunderstorm, they'll be able to send both a text message to whoever opt in, as well as an email message alerting people of change of plans. So a lot to come with event day for tickets.
So we'll open it up for questions. Shelly and Johanna, do you want to ask them, or should we open up the questions tab? And while they answer, I'm going to mention that we're actually on this Roadshow Series this year. So we decided not to do a symposium just because a lot of our customers are kind of financially strapped after the pandemic. And so it winds up being more cost effective if we go out to customers. So we're going to go to a dozen different cities. We were just in Tampa on Tuesday. And these venues are typically, 25 to 40 people. And they're typically at like a beer garden type of a thing, brewery. And it's a couple of hours, and we'll kind of go through all kind of like the features that we have and how you can make the most use. And then we're setting up times such that you can meet with us one-on-one and things like that. So already we've got, I think, about 350 people signed up across those 12 sites. And they roll out until the middle of March. The last one is here in Morristown in the middle of March if you want to come visit us. And and they're going really well. So I think what we're going to do is kind of continue this on kind of, you know, for a long time, and do like 3, 4, 5, 6 every quarter, and just kind of travel around the country. And so if you want to help us host one in your town, get in touch with your rep and bring it up, and we'll put you on the list. And we'd love to get to know our customers even better that way.
All right, I think we have a handful of questions that we've pulled from the list so far, but if you guys still have questions, you can keep putting them in and we will add them at the end. I heard a rumor of a new rewards aspect coming down the line. Is that true? I believe that is referring to referral rewards.
It's kind of a long-term vision, I think, with our membership platform. And I think in 2023, realistically, there's just a lot to be done on membership to get it to the same level that tickets and registration are at.
But let me tell the vision.
Okay, you can tell a vision.
Okay.
But it is more like a 2024 and beyond type of a vision.
Yeah. So basically the long-term vision is that we want to enable our customers to enable rewards across a variety of different interaction points. And so that would mean, you know, that they refer a number of friends, or they themselves come to a number of events, or they themselves come to events, refer friends, and volunteer, and are a member. And so if you think about this kind of holistically, you know, an organization typically wants to get closer to their customers, and they want to engage those customers where the customers are comfortable engaging. And so if somebody's willing to be a donor, well, that's great, and you want to reward them for that. But if somebody is more comfortable and, you know, and has the time to be a volunteer, well, there's also a need for that. So that's kind of the long-term vision. So you can think of awarding points for different types of engagement with your organization. And that's really kind of the next major progress that you'll see there. You'll see like little things happen to rewards, but nothing substantial until then.
So we have a couple of different questions on email v2, just to kind of reiterate what the main timeline is for email changes for automated emails, and then switching over to email v2 and also customer journeys.
So automated emails are in progress. We actually have a couple of them done in Races, and probably within the next week or two, we'll actually enable them on everybody's dashboard. The problem is that if I've got automated emails in V1 and I turn on V2, I don't want to duplicate the price increase email and send it twice, one from the old system and one from the new system. So as soon as we have most of the automated emails done, we're actually going to put it in such a way that you basically turn on the new system and it turns off the old system. And then once we have that done, it's kind of done after that. There is superior functionality kind of everywhere in email v2. And so what we'll do is we'll kind of more, you know, kind of move the old email marketing kind of below the fold, if you will, and the email v2 will become the primary one. You'll still be able to go into the old one, not to send, but to look at your old emails and see how they did and so forth.
Along those lines, what is the timeline for sending emails across multiple races?
Well, you can actually do that today with the new organization email. So you can search the blog, and there's a create organization email link there. And that rolls up all of your contacts across the entire system today. What we're talking about with advanced contact lists of being able to do that from like your race dashboard is probably going to be like later in 2023. But you have that functionality today from org email.
Yeah.
In the new system, will there be the ability to resend volunteer emails like there is with participant emails?
You do have access in email v2 to your volunteers, and so you can simple pick all of your volunteers and send them emails. Do we have all the replacement tags though?
Do we have that right
Yeah,
now?
we do.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I had to check in the replacement tags, but
Yeah, but that's something that is kind of
there.
nearer term than
Yeah.
longer term.
Speaking of data replacement tags, will there ever be a plan to include actual field data and test emails when using replacement tags? I panic every time and fear I've chosen the wrong one.
But then, like, if you see replacement data in there, aren't you going to panic because like it's not the correct data?
Yeah, I'm kind of really against that. Yeah, it really is a bad idea.
The easiest workaround is to send yourself an actual email using your own, like a list that's just your own information with real data. Have you considered Square as a payment gateway?
We actually support them in our ticket app, but,
well, in the ticket
but not for transactioning. Yeah, so much of our system is built around this idea that we're a payment facilitator, and it enables so many features for us, like Referral Rewards, which is a killer feature that every customer should be using. And those
enhanced financial reporting,
easier
refunds, we take care of chargebacks on
better
behalf.
reconciliation. To have two different payment mechanisms, it becomes very inefficient both for our customers and for us.
That being said, for our point of sale for tickets, where you can sell tickets through the app, we did choose to build that on top of Square, so bring your own Square account. And the reason for doing that is just Square has the best line of hardware. It's cheap, it looks nice, it works well. So that's why we made that decision there.
When did you say the renewal upgrades will happen? I've been renewing races for 2023 and haven't seen it yet, but I'm really excited for it.
Yeah, my guess is probably by the summertime.
Do you have an option to allow friends and family to purchase merchandise like a festival t-shirt for themselves or for a competitor as a gift, and then they can pick it up at registration or have it mailed to them?
Yeah, I think that's kind of part of the vision with the next generation store. So part of the plan for this year is to allow on-site sales of store items through the ticket app, but also allow check-in through standalone store sales. And so as that functionality gets brought over to races, we'll have it. There's probably going to be like a little bit of a shortcut that you can get that functionality sooner by using a ticket event. But yes, there is a plan to be able to offer that for every type of event long term.
What is the plan for a race director from 2023 onwards? Will Roger still provide support, and is there a chance that things may not work after that point?
So yeah, we still, like, if you call us with a race director answer, we're gonna answer your question. And so from that perspective, yes. From the perspective of, you know, kind of providing the level of responsiveness and, you know, customization that Roger has provided for the past 30 plus years, probably not. Meaning that if you call up Roger and say, hey, I need this custom report done, can you build it and put it into the race director? He's probably going to say, no, you should really use RaceDay Scoring. So that's the reality of what's going to happen. So we're going to hedge our bets by saying we cannot guarantee support for, you know, all features and it working on all future versions of operating systems and things like that.
Have you considered adding required time, including tenths and hundredths and distance fields, to make it easier to host track and field meets on RunSignup?
We have actually. Matt Avery and I met with a track and field meet director and have it spec'd out. And frankly, we just don't have time this year. It's something that we would like to do. You know, like a lot of our timing customers, you know, time track and field as well as road races, and so we get a request to use us at track and field quite a bit. But unfortunately, I don't think we're going to be able to fit it in this year.
Going back, one more email question on timeline. What's the timeline for email journeys, and will there be a feature to resend only to unopened addresses?
There definitely will be a feature to resend to unopened or to opened and not clicked. I don't know what the timeline is going to be. Hopefully this year.
And I think this is the last one for now. So any vendor or sponsor capabilities? Currently, we're using Event Hub for vendor sponsor management.
Well, we have sponsors in registration today. I think the next big feature for sponsors will be the ability to use ACH for invoices that are greater than $1,000. And that should help a lot of our customers in the near term. Longer term, I don't know if it'll be end of this year or next year.
If you come back to this presentation next year, what you're going to hear is that we've got a new sponsor platform planned and a new volunteer platform planned, much like how we're doing the membership stuff this year.
Yeah, so sponsors and volunteers likely getting entirely redone in 2024.
And they'll be kind of like standalone and reusable across races and tickets, and it will be a superset. And believe me, we keep track of all the requests that we get from people that use our volunteer and sponsor system. So we know what you want, and we want it too. There's only so much time in the day, and so only so much software we can produce.
And one more question that came in: have you given any more thought to carbon offsetting in RunSignup?
So you know what we you know, we looked at things about a year or so ago, and the cost of us implementing something custom, it just didn't seem to make business sense to us. And I know that business sense is a dirty word when you're talking about carbon offset. You know, yeah. So I guess our contribution to carbon offset this year is not having symposiums, and it reduces the amount of flights that are happening. But yeah, I know. But I think that if a race wants to be very carbon neutral, there's lots of things that they can do and lots of material out there. And if they want to raise money for that, one of the options that's out there is that we could do a plugin that you would put in your zip code and our zip code. It would say how many miles it was, and it would calculate what your carbon footprint would be. And you'd be able to make a donation, additional donation of 42 cents or $2.42 to offset that. And it would go directly to a like an independent nonprofit type of organization that tries to do something to offset carbon footprints.
I think as a workaround to it, kind of leveraging donations and like the option to add a donation checkbox on the checkout page and have that go towards it. It's not advanced, like it's not calculating zip code distance, but it can help to raise money for.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty simple to add a checkbox to say add $1 to help offset your carbon footprint by coming to this race. Whether it should be 42 cents calculated accurately or $2.42, that's where I said that, like, the effort to do that code, it just did not seem to make sense. And it also only works with a certain vendor. And so you kind of box yourself in, and that vendor obviously has a bunch of software costs to make that algorithm work right and stuff. So yeah, we just did not find that to be efficient. sorry to end on a negative note of saying no.
I have one more, just if we'll see if this
Oh,
comes
good.
up.
Hopefully this is a happy one.
Actually, I could. If a course measures an odd distance, such as 5.2, will there be options to time these non-traditional distances?
Yeah, we do that every single day. Like, I mean, basically our software, both on the server side as well as in RaceDay Scoring as well as in RaceJoy, you put in the distance and we will automatically calculate, all the other parameters, your pace per mile, your pace per kilometer, your age grade, all that stuff we take care of.
I believe that is it. This was recorded.
Positively, Johanna. Thank you.
We did have a few people ask if they'd be able to find these slides later. We will be sending these out along with the recording within about 24 hours. So check your email tomorrow, as well as the blog.
Great. Well, thanks everybody for hanging in there with us. Hopefully it was useful to you.
Hope to see you I'll be in Denver, Boston, and Seattle.
I'm going to be in Houston, Boston, and Seattle.
All right. Thank you, everyone.